Resilience. You probably heard that one. And when you now think, yeah, well, on the one hand, I want to be resilient, but daily life happens, right? And you're correct with that. Daily life happens. The question is, how do you stay resilient in business while all of that happens? And we have an expert on the matter with us here today. Hello and welcome, Jad Atwe.
Thank you, Niels. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us here today. You wrote the book Resilient in Business. So first, of course, I have to know, what was your core motivation? Because writing a book usually does not get you a millionaire overnight. It's a lot of effort. You probably have to put in months, if not years. You need decades of experience. What was your core motivation to write that book?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I started my first business my background is engineering. So I was an engineer, then passionate about the construction industry. I went into general contracting. So I started a general contracting business that also did real estate development. So we're building homes and selling. Uh, when the market is good, everything is perfect in that business. It's not bad. But when the market goes the other way, you face a lot of challenges. And sometimes you don't see that the market is going the other way when everyone is optimistic about the future, kind of thing. So I got caught off guard there, had a bunch of my own challenges that happened all at once at the same time. That made it's like, okay, how do we navigate from here? Usually when you have one problem at a time, it's easy to solve it. It's easy to work through it. But when many come at the same time, it can be too much. So yeah, lost money on few projects, then cash flow issues, basically issues with personnel at the same time, and you find yourself, your back is against the wall. It's like, how do we stay resilient? How do we keep moving, keep pushing through? Because this is what I personally love. Like, I love this entrepreneurial journey, and this is where the vision has always been this way. So and at that moment is when I thought, I mean, this is bigger than me. It's important to document what's happening. And the idea behind writing the business came at that point. The book.
Excellent. So you're speaking from first-hand experience with resilience. You're not someone who was sitting on the fence and saying, oh, I just like the topic.
Exactly. No, I say more than my fair share of difficult times.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So when people now buy the book, what can they expect from the book? Is it some sort of instruction? What can they expect when they get into the book? How will the book help them in their situation? Because many people will say, a book is nice to have, but I'm still working somewhere in employment and daily life still happens. I can't go to my boss and say, hey, we have to stop this because look at this book. So yes. How can this book help people to stay more resilient in business?
Absolutely. So the idea behind this book is this book is very important, especially for small and medium-sized business owners, because in those types of settings, the business results are often a mirror of the internal state of the sole director. You have only the owner that's taking decisions, that's directing the ship, and their internal state, their belief systems, the way that they operate, they really lead themselves and their business will eventually dictate the results their business will get. Like, what do they believe about something? How do they manage their time? How do they have the right support network in place? Things of that sort. Those all are, I call them, those are the personal operating system of the owner of the business. Their personal operating system is the starting point that will dictate the results. So this is the theory behind this book, and it basically describes what are the essential practices that you should carry in your personal operating system in order to elevate it, in order to increase your capacity to handle more pressure, in order to handle more uncertainty. I talk about 5 key practices that are important to have in your personal operating system to increase your capacity to absorb all of this chaos and uncertainty.
Excellent. So is the resilient in business operating system, is that something you designed by yourself?
Exactly, correct. Yes. And it's based on, I call it the roots framework. It's telling people that it's important to root yourself in your resilience before going on and asking for help. And that basically starts with, first, you have to regulate your nervous system, make sure that the R is for regulate. You know how to manage stress, you know how to deal with the pressure, because if you don't, you'll end up taking the wrong decisions, you'll end up making the wrong actions. It's important to pause, see realize that we're under stress and actually regulate before going crazy. I see it a lot of time. People, they get into fiery conversations with someone else, and then they want to fire back and things, and they do things they regret later. It's important to relax a little bit, have perspective. Yeah, so that's the first part, is knowing how to regulate our nervous system. The second part is observing the loops and patterns that are holding us back, that are sabotaging our success. And sometimes those patterns can be unconscious, like we're not aware of them. For example, like people pleasing, business owners, they want to please their clients, so they do things that they do more work than they should. They don't charge for it. They undercharge. They hire the wrong people over and over again. There's a bunch of set of things that we don't do. We do that are holding us back, and that are blind spots that we don't realize subconsciously. It's important to pinpoint those areas and actually address them, because they're not actually helping us. So that's observe. The third part is, I call it own. So owning your identity, coming back to what's true to you, understanding your purpose. This is what helped me move forward. It's like your back is against the walls. Okay, great. Why am I doing this? It's like, this is so painful. What will keep me going? What's your purpose? What's your vision? And then also being in a place where you're thinking and acting like the person that you want to where you want to be. So if you stay thinking small and be acting small, you're not going to build a bigger business, kind of thing. The guy that's running a $500,000 business annually thinks differently than the guy that's running a $10 million business. It's just a different game. So it's important to think and behave and start building momentum towards that vision. And so that's owning your identity, being true to yourself, kind of thing, and filtering out the noise. Like a big mistake we do is solicit opinions from everyone.
Excellent. So would you say that your book also has, because of course when I prepared for this, for our interview, some people said resilient in business is especially important today, because some people now look at the world and they say, I am not only worried about revenue and profit system, I am worried about where is the world heading at the moment. So I give you one simple example. One of my friends who's a manager for an international supply chain company, he is sitting in Doha at the moment. And I think I don't have to explain to you how the situation there is at the moment. So does it really help you also in really extreme situations to stay more resilient?
Yeah, so this is exactly, it's a full system around resilience. So to answer, I'm going to get to your point, but I just want to go on a quick tangent. A little bit after OWN, we have how to manage our energy and direct our attention to what matters in our business. Those are all parts of our personal operating system. And then support, building our support ecosystem, which means first of all, we have to support ourselves. Then we have to make sure that we're connected to the right industry partners, peers, associations. We're building our network in such a way where we're well connected. We have the right operational staff in place that's running without our constant supervision, kind of thing. And we're connected to the right coaches and consultants. And then beyond that, exactly, it's important to understand the risks that are associated with what we're doing in the different areas of our business, and try to, what are the risks, what are the costs of the risks, how severe are those risks, assessing them and trying to put plans to mitigate them in case something like what's happening right now happens. It's like there's always something. One day it's market uncertainty, the other day it's a cash flow issue, the third day it could be a lawsuit. Who knows? Like it's crazy out there.
Yeah, absolutely. If someone now says, I think Jad could be really helpful for us, either as a trainer or a coach or to speak at our conference. One question I always have at the very last question of the interview is, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we speak and we also help people implement this personal operating system to improve, to get better and get to the next stage. They can reach out on LinkedIn. My name is Jad Atwe. I'm happy to connect with everyone and chat. And they can also find our book on Amazon, or our website is resilientinbusiness.com.
Perfect. I think these are the perfect final words for the finish of this interview. We see resilience more important than ever, and being resilient in business, even more important for yourself and for the organization as a whole. So at the end of this interview, there's only one thing left for me to say. Jad, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Niels. Thanks.